Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a July reading for Leo. The reading that I'm doing for July is my Triptych Door reading. It's basically a comparison of opposites, or a union of opposites, depending on how it works out. We have the central unifier, and then we have the two side doors now. Typically, the center card is going to be a larger card, and the side cards are going to be smaller. That's the way that this reading works. So for Leo, I'm using the Cairo Marchetti Legacy of the Divine Tarot, and I'm also using the Blessed Bee deck. It's like an oracle deck. It's Lucy Cavendish. And looking at where the planets are going to be, this is hopefully correct, because sometimes they differ depending on which website I'm looking at, but it's roughly within a few hours. So the sun's moving into Leo on July 22nd. It's sort of chasing the heels of Venus, which leaves Leo on the same day. But Venus and Mars are in Leo together from the 1st through the 21st, and then Mars leaves Leo on the 30th. So there is quite a lot of the Leo energy. And the moon hangs out in Leo on the 11th and 12th. So the moon and the sun and Venus and Mars all together on the 11th and 12th. So that ought to be a pretty bangarang kind of day. Let's see what else is going on here. Nothing else looking particularly in Leo, but that is quite a bit of Leo energy. And then Mercury in Leo on the 28th. I would expect the 28th to be kind of a contentious day, because Mercury and Mars are going to be in Leo on the 28th and 29th, and then it's sort of like wrestling with maturity, like your ego and yourself, or your child self and yourself, in terms of the masculine energy. You know, it might be one of those, like, oh, I hate myself, or like feeling like you're going through puberty again. That's what I'm getting for that energy. There's other stuff going on. There's a butt ton of retrogrades. And that's just how it is. There's a double dose of retrograde in Neptune. There's a double dose of Saturnian / Capricornian retrograde. Oh yeah, and then Chiron's going to be retrograde mid-month, but that's not in Leo, that's in Aries. But it might still have a little bit of an effect while Mars is in Leo. Okay, so that's all enough there. So this is a quicker reading. I do offer it for sale. You can see the complete list of readings that I have for sale in the description box down below, along with the contact points through the link tree. So I always think my elastic is breaking, but it just because it's got the company name pressed in there, it looks like it's ripping. So we do the side doors first. Let's see what's going on for Leo. This is the first. Get that in focus a little better. No, okay, this was the right way. So the Hanged Man. No, too much. Okay, the Hanging Man inverted. So this Hanged Man is the Fool. It's the same character from the Fool card. He's got his hourglass there. There's sort of an Alice in Wonderland mirror. He's doing the Cirque du Soleil situation there. But I really feel like that's still not focused, but it's... I think it's just because it's a shiny card and it's made with Photoshop, it looks kind of not in focus to me on the camera. The Hangman inverted is usually an I'm waking up sign. This is also indicative of the Neptune retrograde. So we have Neptune retrograde in Pisces and Jupiter retrograde in Pisces. Although I was going to say the Fool is usually Uranus energy, but just because it's the same character doesn't, in this deck, doesn't mean it carries that energy. Although typically I see the Hanged Man as relating to a knight, so depending on what the other suit is, this might be related to a knight waking up. And it's sort of like, it's like time stops and everything just sort of hangs, like there's zero gravity. Time standing still. It's like nothing's moving, but you can you can move your eyeballs and you're aware of it. It's like being in a dream. So we have the Six of Swords. Oh. So we have a 6 and a 12, and I see that as stacking up on each other. So this could be trying to be a Knight of Swords, right? It's like, it's cat got your tongue kind of energy, especially with Leo energy, like literally the cat. This is, I'm like, let me sleep on it. I don't know what I'm going to say. But now I'm awake. But the Six of Swords energy is usually I usually call it my sailing away from the bullshit card. But I did have a download recently that was more along the lines of letting the boat row itself down the stream. And you think of that, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And when I said dream, I was like, oh. Six of Swords energy. Mercury in Aquarius. I said the Fool was Aquarian energy. Taurus energy. Mercury. Oh, it's like this is the energy of I'm pushing off from shore. I'm detaching myself from the ground. I'm pulling up anchor. This isn't necessarily I'm sailing away from it. It's I'm ready to stop fighting the current, which would release this everything's paused thing, right? I'm waking up, I'm ready to go with the flow, and you see these two cards with the 6 and the 12, right? The doubling. 6 is in the book for the Lenormand, the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. On the Sun card, Sun, which is Leo energy, even though it's not the same number as in regular tarot, it says 6 is a solar number. So 6. And then the 12, which would be 3. Let's see what this is. Of course, it's the Man. There's only 2 men in this deck, I think. A Blessing for Good Men and Fathers, number 13, and it's inverted. Look at this. There's a crown here, crown activity, and this bird coming in like a messenger. These horns also indicate crown activity. What did I say? Mars and Mercury in the same place as an inner fight for maturity, right? This doesn't necessarily mean I'm suddenly gonna grow up and, you know, like I'm gonna have kids and now I'm the father. It's taking on this energy of maturity wherein I nurture things and take that Martian energy from the center point and expand it outwards by concentrating my fire on it as like it's like an electrical energy, right? It's like how it's kind of, well, I mean, it's like it's kind of a specific example, but if you think about marijuana plants, they have to have a lot of electricity with the lamps to grow, and that's the kind of energy that I'm thinking about. It's not like, you know, oh, I'm not going to be messing around with my buddies anymore, I got a family. It's not that. It's not that energy. It's not like I'm giving up my ways and settling down. It's I'm having an overhaul of how I view the world and what my intentions are. It's not like, oh, I can't play around anymore, I've got to be serious, when you just want to goof off. It's like, you know, I've been in the mercurial energy, I've been the trickster, I got it out of my system, I don't need it anymore, right? My energy is evolving. I'm moving with the flow of nature instead of just, you know, testing my boundaries. This is also coming in as an internal transformation, right? It's like the higher self, the ego, and all that trying to. It's like your device is syncing up. Right, all the different layers of your personality syncing up. And this is coming in with for masculine energy. Now it could be God damn it, now I don't remember what I was going to say. It's getting a little bit of a hit of the dog days of summer too. I don't know when those start. It's not that relevant. I forgot what I was going to say. Something about the inner masculine and everyone has both. I don't know. Okay, so here's the feminine energy. I was wondering where she was. So this is the bottom of the deck. We have the Queen of Cups. She's also a 13. We have an emotional overhaul. I don't know. I'll try to refocus that to the table a little bit. She's still kind of blurry. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, so she is a 13 regarding emotion. And I saw her in the boat here. There's a guy over here too. But this boat is drifting, right? It's not being actively paddled. The other one here is 11, a blessing on the children. This full moon here, this little unicorn, also crown energy. So we have a feminine here. This 11 is a universal timing number. This came in inverted. But this hangman is also inverted. So this isn't coming in with a knight energy. It's coming in like a page. And it's like this, like I'm turning the page. I'm turning a new leaf. I'm stepping out and letting, again, it's this idea of my personalities are syncing up. I'm syncing up with the universe. I'm going with the flow. And it kind of feels like the water is running backwards. You know how if you're parked and the car starts moving next to you, you feel like you're moving in the other direction and it can throw you off? That's what this feels like. It feels like the universe is pulling you backwards. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. My stop is over there. It's like, no, this is where your emotional transformation is going to be. So this doesn't it could be in terms of communication in a relationship, and that the timing is going to start syncing up like a Swiss watch. But in terms of an internal thing, this is emotional fulfillment and nurturing of the self in a way that it's like a sacral energy thing. I feel protected enough to stop micromanaging the universe. And it says fathers here and it says children here, but I don't always see that as like somebody is literally going to have offspring, because it's like that's not something that's relevant to me in a three-dimensional sense, because I know a lot of readers, they'll be like, oh, someone's pregnant, you're gonna have a baby, you're be careful if you're having sexy times. But if I see children, a lot of the time for me it has to do with inner children energy, or it has to do with creating something. Right? It's like with Dolly Parton, her songs are her children. Right? Something like that. You know, my pets are my children. Anything that I'm nurturing becomes my children. And for some people that is literally children, but I think if we look at it as an energy signature, I'm creating something. I'm growing something. I'm feeding something that's expanding. I'm growing something from its infancy, right? It started out as an idea, then it was an outline, then it was a sketch, then it was a working model, then it became a production sample. That's something that's grown from its infancy. It's not just a clump of cells and then a fetus and then a baby and then it's my child. It's also all those other things. So do keep that in mind if you see things like specifically father or mother and child, because it's not always exactly that thing. Sometimes it's energetic template, sometimes it's metaphorical, and sometimes child is the inner child. That's all that's there for Leo. There's the energy that's retrograde that's most affecting Leo is the Neptunian Piscean energy. There's a little bit coming in from Taurus and Aquarius. And again, that has to do with grounding. It has to do with letting go of subconscious fears. Things that make you feel like you aren't allowed to be loved or nurtured or have basic care. And again, the idea is to let yourself flow in the energy, feel like you're aware, look for synchronicities while your energy bodies line up with each other, like stack up like a template, finding itself and flow into the universal pattern for co-creation. All right, so if you want to get a personal reading, you can get one like this or one of the other several readings that I have. Come on. There we go. Nope. It's too far. Okay. All the readings that I have are going to be down in the description box underneath here. If you'd like to contribute to my channel, help keep things going, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. And then if you'd like to get something instead of just throwing an open donation, I've got coloring books, dark poetry, merch, prints, actual art items. There's a coupon code here for Etsy. If you go through the link tree to get to Etsy, that coupon code should pop right in at the top. It's 17% off if you buy 3 or more items. Some of those items are only a few bucks, like my chapbook packs, which would be essentially like throwing down one of these readings, and because there's writing and images in those packets. So it's basically the cost of our greeting card, and you get a little booklet and a few little small bits of art and a couple of art cards that have little images on them as well. So it's like 6 little things in there, I think. I think that's it. And then I have social media and stuff. Everything through the link tree, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.